April 8, 1943, 27,000 feet above occupied France. German pilots laughed. Through the crystal canopy of their Focke-Wulf 19s, they saw the massive shapes of new American fighters crawling toward them, slow, heavy, and clumsy. "They're flying milk bottles," one Luftwaffe ace joked. The plane they mocked was the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, a 7-ton monster that looked more like a flying oil drum than a fighter. What the Germans didn't know was that this milk bottle carried 8.50 caliber Browning machine guns, firing 6,000 rounds per minute. That day marked the arrival of a weapon that would turn laughter into terror and systematically destroy the Luftwaffe's fighter arm. Three years earlier, in 1940, as Europe burned, Republic Aviation's chief designer Alexander Kartveli was handed an impossible task: build a high-altitude interceptor to match the Luftwaffe's best. His answer was radical. "It will be a dinosaur," he said, "but a dinosaur with good proportions." The result was the XP-47B prototype, first flown in May 1941, weighing 65% more than its predecessor. Beneath its barrel-shaped frame roared the Pratt & Whitney ER-2800 Double Wasp, an 18-cylinder engine producing 2,000 horsepower. With its turbo supercharger, it could deliver sea-level power at 27,000 feet, where most German engines gasped for air. But mastering the beast was deadly. The P-47 killed more American pilots in training than in its first months of combat. It torque rolled on takeoff, dove too fast, and often crashed during landings. Yet those who tamed it discovered something extraordinary: a plane that could climb through hell and keep flying when everything else fell apart. April 1943, the Thunderbolt's combat debut. The Luftwaffe quickly mocked it. "It flies like a truck," sneered Ace Joseph Pips Priller. The statistics agreed. 14 Thunderbolts lost for only 3 confirmed kills. But under that ugly skin was an indestructible machine. On June 26, 1943, Lieutenant Robert S. Johnson faced 16 Focke-Wulfs over France. His Thunderbolt took over 200 hits, cannon shells, machine gun fire, shrapnel. His canopy jammed shut, his controls shredded. Yet the P-47 refused to die. Johnson landed in England, bloodied but alive. That single flight sent shockwaves through both sides. The Luftwaffe had just met an enemy aircraft that could take everything they threw at it and keep coming back. By mid-1943, American pilots learned how to use their monster properly. Don't turn, don't dogfight, dive, fire, climb away. The tactic was called boom and zoom. From 30,000 feet, Thunderbolts dove at 550 miles per hour, faster than anything in the German arsenal. The 8.50 caliber guns opened up, unleashing a wall of fire so dense that Luftwaffe pilots said it looked like a stream of white death. During the August 17, 1943 raids on Schweinfurt and Regensburg, Thunderbolts tore apart entire formations of Messerschmitts and Focke-Wulfs. Survivors described aircraft literally disintegrating in midair. Each Thunderbolt carried 3,400 rounds, enough ammunition to sustain fire for 30 seconds. German pilots started calling them Roosevelt's piano, because when those guns played, you died. The Thunderbolt evolved again. The P-47D-22 with a massive paddle blade propeller that gave it climb rates equal to German fighters. Now the flying milk bottle could fight back and win. On D-Day, more than 500 Thunderbolts filled the skies above Normandy. German troops on the ground called them Donnerschlag, thunderclap, because of their roaring engines and screaming rockets. In the following weeks, Thunderbolts obliterated German logistics. Negative 651 locomotives, 3,800 trucks, negative 512 tanks, and thousands of troops to ground forces. The P-47 became something terrifying. A flying artillery piece that could erase an entire convoy in one pass. Veterans spoke of the fear, Jabba fever, fighter-bomber fever. Even hardened Luftwaffe pilots trembled when they heard that deep, thunderous roar. By 1945, the P-47 had become unstoppable. With extended fuel tanks and water methanol boosts, it now hunted jets like the Me-262 and escorted bombers deep into Germany and Japan. Over 15,000 Thunderbolts rolled off American assembly lines, one every hour at the peak of production. The Luftwaffe, by contrast, was out of fuel, out of planes, and out of men. Even Luftwaffe legend Adolf Galland later admitted, "We laughed at them in 1943. We were wrong. They built a bomber and called it a fighter, and they won." The war ended with skies owned by Thunderbolts. The laughter that began over France had vanished, replaced by the roar of 8 synchronized Brownings. The message was clear. Industrial power, relentless fire, and unbreakable steel had silenced the Luftwaffe forever.